Good afternoon. There we go. Good. It's like class now. Well, welcome. I'm delighted to have such a great crowd today for the annual campus address. We have a lot of folks here, and we've got many more watching on internet streaming around the campuses, around the state, around the globe. I'm sure they're watching in Moscow and Beijing, and, well, at least Bothell and Tacoma. We've got with us two of our regents today, Bill Gates Sr. right here. Bill, thank you for joining us. Universities, academic work in general, I suppose, is, if anything, the definitive team activity, a definitive team sport. There's virtually nothing that goes on inside the University of Washington that is, in fact, a solo performance. There may be activities that are recognized and individuals that are recognized more than others. Indeed, I'm going to recognize some of them, and we want to always honor those performances and recognize them for what they are. But at the same time, we have to recognize that no one wins anything at the University of Washington alone. The reality is that professor sitting in her office has behind her all the books and resources and people that staff our libraries. They've got all the people behind them that run our computer systems, that take care of our payroll so they can get paid, that manages purchasing so they can buy things. Even occasionally lets them take a trip abroad. All the people that take care of our beautiful campuses so that we're all kind of inspired with these beautiful places that we get to work at as we wander across our campuses. They get challenged and pushed by their students, graduate and undergraduate students, usually more pushed than they'd like sometimes. And obviously they have colleagues that they sit with and talk and chat and get great ideas from. So as we talk about what we've been doing, where we are right now, and where we're going, I'm not going to always talk about the we, but we always need to remember it. We always need to recognize that everything we do here is a team sport. Everything we do. And that's, I think, one of the most important things we can always remember. One that perhaps is the most significant this past year was the fact that you've all finally made me an honest man. I have talked in speech after speech about the UW doing around, almost, about $1 billion worth of funded research. Now I can, with a straight face, see that we do more than $1 billion worth of funded research. Because, indeed, because we crossed that threshold this past year, and $1 billion worth of funded research is a staggering number. There are very, very few institutions in this country, indeed on Earth, that do $1 billion worth of research at any given point in time, and that is remarkable, remarkable achievement. And inside that, of course, there were thousands of individual performances, some that were widely recognized and some that weren't. And while I could go on all the lists of individual achievements with faculty, I'd like to mention just a few of our students so we can pause and recognize some of their successes because, again, it was a pretty fabulous year for our students. We had 3 more Goldwater scholars. We struck gold 3 times, I guess would be a bad pun. But the Goldwater scholarships are something that it's become a bit of a habit here. We've had a Goldwater scholar every year since 1993. We've had at least 2 every year since 2002. And with these 3 scholars, we're now among the universities that has the largest total numbers of Goldwater scholarships. We need to just keep up that pace and we'll have something quite remarkable going. We had students also this year demonstrate their interest in and commitment to things international and to serving the planet. We, for the first time in our history, passed Wisconsin in the total number of students who volunteered for the Peace Corps. So the UW now leads all universities in the number of students who are going abroad to serve humanity, and I think that's an extraordinary thing that made me very, very proud. And in fact, we had some athletes do some pretty terrific things last year. We had our men's crew team win the national championship in men's crew, and we were enormously proud of them. We also saw something this year from our alumni and our supporters and those people who are friends of the university in the level of support that they provide to us. To say it was successful is a gross understatement. Last year, when I was standing here for this speech, I was saying that I was pretty confident that we would hit our $2 billion fundraising goal that we set a number of years earlier. The goal, of course, was to reach $2 billion by June 30th of 2008. In fact, we hit $2 billion by February of this year, with nearly a year and a half to go. So we did the only sensible thing here. Bill Gates immediately said, well, we have to increase the goal. So we raised the goal, Bill, to $2.5 billion, and I have to confess, at the dinner when Bill told me that, I thought, that's a really big number. But let me tell you where we are today, because today, with however many months we have, 8, 9 months yet to go on that goal, right now, today I'm happy to announce we are sitting at $2.4 billion of a $2.5 billion goal. And that includes something approaching 250,000 donations now. That many individuals and organizations have sat down and written checks to support the University of Washington. That, to me, is as impressive as the dollar amount, because it says how far and wide the support is for what all of us are doing here and how good people feel about the UW these days. Just a year ago also at this event, I announced that we were going to create the Husky Promise and the Student First programs. Well, the Husky Promise is now in full effect. In fact, right now we have nearly 5,500 students attending class this fall under the Husky Promise model. And the Students First support has been really astounding. We now, with the match funding that we put forward, we've now received in gifts and pledges $47 million from the time I announced this last year in support for our students. And I have to tell you, that's a bigger number than I would have been courageous enough to say as a goal. It's been quite astounding. The faculty, staff, and retiree campaign for students that's a part of that is now up to $6 million that you, the faculty, staff, and retirees of the institution have put forward. It's really something that I'm very, very proud of. But despite all that, I want you to all take a pledge today. I was going to make you raise your right hand and repeat after me, but I won't. So you can do it silently, but you have a very simple pledge. The pledge is, today or tomorrow, you'll go to your computer, you'll go online, you'll go to the alumni part of the UW homepage, and you will buy a UW license plate. Okay? Now, why would you do that? Well, first of all, it's $45, but 28 of those dollars go to a scholarship fund. And when you multiply it times all the license plates just in this room and on TV right now, it's a lot of money flowing to our students. Second of all, the students redesigned the plate, so if you haven't seen it lately, it's a very handsome, nice plate with a nice block W on it. We got rid of the weasel dog. So now we have a really nice plate that looks really good. And most importantly, I really don't like the fact that there's more Cougar plates out there than Husky plates. So all of you, take the pledge, go do it today. So we need to get that done to push our support forward. That enormous number, that $2.4 billion, has also come in every kind of gift and every kind of size and shape you can imagine. But you know, some of the big gifts this year were just pretty staggering. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation committed $105 million, by far the biggest gift the university has ever received, to create the Institute for Global Health Metrics and Evaluation and help us to recruit Chris Murray. A stunning gift that we're really pleased to see come to fruition. We received now from the Foster Foundation a total of $50 million to support the business school. And with that gift, we happily named the school the Michael G. Foster School of Business and helped move that school into the more elite ranks where it belongs. We received gifts like the $10 million from Steve and Connie Ballmer to help create Partners for Our Children, a wonderful collaboration between social work and the state government and a variety of nonprofit organizations to change the way we deal with foster care and the young people that find themselves in great challenges in our society today. All in all, now we have support for faculty that exceeds 300 endowed professorships and chairs. The support that continues to flow in for the institution is something that we can only describe so far as a smashing success.